Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Before we get started, please like the video down below and hit the subscribe button. We just passed Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Can we get to 24K? Help me out by subscribing. And we're going to do the Senate map, but first we're going to go through the governor's map really quickly and fill out the governor's map just because I feel like the governor's map is just too short to fit it into one video, so I will be doing this map right now. I do think Utah is a safe state for the Republicans. I don't think Indiana is going to be much contested. North Dakota should stay Republican. Montana is an open seat right now. I will put that in the, I'd say, lean Republican column. Washington is going to be likely, safe blue. Vermont and New Hampshire, I'm going to put both. I'll put New Hampshire in the likely column. Vermont is probably going to stay safe. Phil Scott is extremely popular, despite Vermont being one of the bluest states in the Union. As for the state of Missouri, we'll put that one in the likely red column for now. As for the Democrats, they will win the state of Delaware pretty easily, Joe Biden's home state. And the state of North Carolina, I think that Roy Cooper will hold on. I do think it's going to be razor thin, though. I'll say less than 2%. I'll go off on a limb here and say that. As for Jim Justice's chances in West Virginia, I actually think that he is possibly at risk of losing the seat. I will put it in the tilt column now because he is the incumbent. He still has time, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to win, as he's definitely got people upset with him. However, is there a Democrat candidate that's going to be able to take him down? I don't really have the answer to that question either. So now we'll go on to the Senate map here, and we'll start to fill out the states. We'll go east to west on our map here. As for the state of Maine, I see that as likely Republican. I think Collins is going to win regardless. She's opposing President Trump in the election, but Republicans are going to come out and vote for her anyways. She has immense support among independents. Maine is a very independent-minded state. I definitely think she's going to win the state of Maine. I do see New Hampshire being close, but I don't have enough evidence that a Republican can win there. So I do think that Republicans are going to do okay there. Trump might win the state of New Hampshire, but I don't see New Hampshire as in the Republican column for the Senate. However, it could be very close if the nominee is Kelly Ayotte. As for Massachusetts and Rhode Island, I see both of those as safe blue. I see New Jersey and Delaware remaining safe blue as well. And as for the state of Virginia, I'm going to put that one as likely blue. It will probably stay in the blue column. I do think that Mark Warner will hold on. I do see West Virginia and Kentucky. Kentucky will put it as likely. West Virginia safe. Tennessee safe. Mississippi, it might be a likely margin, but I think it's still going to be safe regardless. As for South Carolina, it will be the same. Sorry to inform Backstar from North Carolina, but it doesn't look like the report is showing a victory for Cal Cunningham. It does look like Thom Tillis is going to be able to hold on in the state of North Carolina. Georgia's got two races. I think one of those will be likely, and I think that one of them will be lean. I definitely see David Perdue, the incumbent's race, going likely, and I see the other race becoming lean. I think I accidentally put that in the tilt column there. There we go. Now it's in the lean column. As for Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, those will stay safe blue or safe red. Illinois safe blue. As for the state of Alabama, I'd be shocked if Doug Jones cracks 40% there if he votes for impeachment. I see Alabama being safe red with Jeff Sessions. As for the state of Michigan, tilt red, John James is going to pull off an upset and pick off the seat from Gary Peters. Democrats narrowly leading in Minnesota, at least of now. These are subject to change. Jason Lewis could win the state when it's all said and done. I don't see it. Iowa likely red if not safe. South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas all going red. Texas, I'm going to put it in the safe column right now. John Cornyn is a lot less of a controversial figure than Ted Cruz. I think Democrats are going to pull money out of Texas when it's all said and done. I don't think they're going to be able to win in Texas, and I definitely think Cornyn's going to have a chance to win it safe. He won the Hispanic vote in Texas last time around. I don't know if he will now because the country's gotten more divided. It will be a higher turnout election, but I think he'll do well enough with Hispanics. He's got well enough of the suburban vote that I think he'll get a margin very similar to Greg Abbott's margin. A lot of people I've talked with in Texas can concur with me on this. As for Wyoming, I think Wyoming is going to go in the Republican column. So we have 50 seats, and if Republicans win the election, which I think Trump will, it will give the Republicans the Senate, but this is not the be-all and end-all of the seats. I do think that the state of Idaho is going to go in the Republican column as well, in the safe column. That will put them over the top with 51. I don't see Alaska being competitive, or Oregon for that matter. As for the state of New Mexico, I will put that one in the likely blue column. It really depends who is running on the Republican ticket. It's possible it could be a competitive race if Susana Martinez is the Republican nominee, but we don't know if that's going to be the case right now. As for the state of Colorado, I do think Democrats are going to win it. I don't think it's going to be by a super big margin. People have to keep in mind that John Hickenlooper was relatively popular as governor, but he barely won in 2014. At the same time, I do think that Cory Gardner's a lot better than Trump in the suburbs. I do think that Hickenlooper being under investigation is going to make the race close. A lot of people don't know that, or they forgot about it. But Colorado is not going to be a safe blue state in the Senate. I don't think that Gardner's going to pull it off, but he could potentially under the right scenario, and Hickenlooper might not be the nominee, and if he does, he could be plagued with scandals. Maybe Trump's popularity surges nationwide and he could be ousted, but that's neither here nor there. As for the state of Montana, I do think that Montana is going to go in the Republican column, even if Steve Bullock runs for Senate. I believe he said he would not do that. I don't see a Democrat competing there well. I do think that at a statewide level, it is a lot different than at a national level. It is true that Jon Tester did win the seat last time. However, he was an incumbent in a blue wave year. This is a different environment. It's very possible the Libertarians screwed over Rosendale, and Rosendale was not that good of a candidate to begin with. So I definitely see Republicans holding in Montana. Now the question is, what have they done? They traded Alabama for Colorado, like I would expect, and they've picked off Michigan. The state of Arizona is very difficult. Polling there, I do see it very, very closely between Mark Kelly and Martha McSally. However, it is a presidential election. More Republicans are coming out to vote. I do not believe Mark Kelly is a Mormon, so I don't think he's going to energize any moderate Mormons in the Tempe Mesa area. So I do think that Arizona is going to go Republican, but I do think it's going to be called, 2 days after the election. A lot of people want their guns. Mark Kelly's very big on an anti-gun advocacy thing. So I definitely see Arizona as in the lean red column, or the tilt red column as you have it here on the map. So I definitely think Republicans are going to keep the Senate. I definitely think they are going to keep the governor's elections. I think they're actually going to gain because they're going to pick up Montana. They could lose West Virginia, but they also could gain North Carolina there, as you see on the map. So it's a very, very interesting thing when you look at this map here and you see Republicans doing very well in the Senate. It's possible they even take back the House. That will be another video that I will be doing. I've done them before and I'll do them in the future, maybe by the end of the month, but we've got things like the Democrat primaries coming up, so you never know. But definitely is one of those things where it's like, you have strong candidates running across the country, you're going to be able to win. Alabama flipped because you had a weak candidate, but then again, people don't know that Doug Jones got less votes than Hillary Clinton, and Hillary lost to Trump in Alabama by like 25 points. So if you look at the empirical data and you look at the map completely, I think people begin to see that Alabama, it's not going to be competitive. Kentucky, when it's all said and done, these are nationwide politics. If Matt Bevin versus Andy Beshear was a Senate race, I do think that Matt Bevin would win the Senate election by 5 points or more. He was hated in the state as the governor, but the governor really does state duties. I think it's a little bit different at the national level, and a lot of these states, especially in middle America, want the government off their backs. So you're going to start to see them trend red if you run good candidates for the Senate. And also, I don't think McConnell's getting a strong primary challenger. Last time he got Bevin, ironically enough, and he almost lost. But this time it looks a lot better for McConnell moving forward. Cocaine Turtle Mitch will cruise to re-election. A lot of people are asking about Maine and on Iowa. They're not going to flip. Montana's not going to flip. We talk about this all the time. As for Massachusetts, it's interesting over on the East Coast where you have Massachusetts is a state where I think that Joe Kennedy is going to primary Ed Markey, and I think the polls actually have him beating Ed Markey in the primary election. I don't know if anything's changed on that front, but it's very interesting to monitor that as well. In other news with the Senate races, West Virginia, you might have Richard Odeja running, or Richard Ojeda, as people have corrected me on that topic. So West Virginia could get closer. We're just not sure. He isn't announced yet. It's bizarre he dropped out to run for president. Also, Marianne Williamson dropped out recently. I thought that was kind of funny, then going on a tangent about saying how Love is going to win or whatever. She's kind of crazy. We know how she is. But that's really it for this video. It does seem like Republicans will keep the governorship and keep the Senate, and it looks like in both cases, as I aforementioned, they will gain a seat or two in each. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like the video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Join the Discord, follow me on social media, join the Patreon for exclusive content. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.